Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is the latest news. Now, we will be discussing a lot today, including the latest on the sporting director. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Arsenal are close to appointing a new director this month. We'll be discussing the favorite candidate in terms of getting this job, and also the latest in terms of our transfer news. Who are we looking to sign? Which player, specific player, are we looking to sign in the transfer window that is coming up? And also the contract situations, because there's a contract situation with Partey, with Trossard. Martinelli has been rumored to be moving on as well. So a lot to discuss in terms of that as well. So without wasting any time at all, let's get to it. Let's get to the latest news. And that is regarding the sporting director. Obviously, Edu left unexpectedly for sure last year. I remember waking up on that day and I was like, okay, let me check what's going on. And then I saw Edu was left. Like I didn't expect that at all. But he left. We have been without a sporting director for a few months now. But looks like that will change very, very soon. So this is the latest on that. So according to Fabrizio Romano, as understand, Andrea Berta is now the top candidate to become new Arsenal director in order to replace Edu. Discussions already took place. Berta left Athletic after building the team with key signings in the recent years. Talks at an advanced stage, not done or sealed yet. So for me, this is good news. This is good news, and I think a lot of people will agree. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I didn't like the previous regime, especially at the beginning. Actually, around 2022-23, when he first competed for the title, Edu and Ateta, that combination, I was like, this is absolutely a dream. I'm sure a lot of teams would want that. Like, you know, a former player being a manager, former player being a director, and things are working out. I think a lot of people would want that, someone who understands the club, someone who understands the team, someone who's been there before. A lot of teams would probably want that. Now, it's very difficult to get that particular person. Former players, former, managers being a director, it's not common. A lot of teams have to go for experienced people, and those former players are not directors. Very few of them. Like for us, it's only really Edu and Rosicki who are directors after their playing careers. It's not many that you can get. So if you get one plus a manager that both of them are your former players and both of them are working out, it's great. Like in 2023, 2024, I was loving it. I was like, yeah, this is going good. This guy's working together fantastically. They're agreeing on things. It's very easy to also get a director who, a director and a manager who are not agreeing on things, and things maybe won't work out. You definitely don't want them to agree on everything. It's great to give each other suggestions, but if they're disagreeing on everything as well, and the manager wants this player, but the director wants this player, it's not going to work out. It's going to be a mess. So you ideally want people who agree with each other and have the same focus, the same goal where the team is going. That is great. And after they got the Declan Rice deal done, I was absolutely over the moon. I was like, now we've changed as a club. Doing it whatever they've told Declan Rice, it's working, and they've been able to sign these big players wanted by Man City and previously by Chelsea and Bayern Munich and all these teams. Things are great, but obviously the last couple of transfer windows before Edu left in the last one, we've obviously seen some gaps. And, a lot of people have said, Edu's negotiation skills aren't great. Some people have said maybe both of them when they're negotiating with players, maybe they don't really do the job, sufficient job. Some people are saying maybe Arteta usually wants a particular player. Edu tries to discuss it with them and he doesn't get the deals done. But Edu left. That's the point. Edu left, and you need a new director. Now, the only three things that haven't changed at Arsenal at the moment. We've tried everything. We've basically tried everything. I still can't believe we haven't won any single trophy the last 3 years. I think we definitely deserved it with everything. The number of goals we scored last season, the clean sheets, the defensive record, the solid foundation we built in the team, the set pieces, everything. Like, we definitely deserve to win something the last 3 years, but it hasn't happened. And the only three things we haven't tried yet is to get a striker. That is one. We haven't tried that one yet. Number two, to get a new director, an experienced director. Number three, to get a new manager, a new experienced manager. Those are the only three things you haven't tried. Now, I don't want that to go anywhere this season, still giving him next season. So that, for me, I don't want it to change. Number two, the director has changed already, so we need a new director. So it could have been easy to go for someone like a Jason Ato, who's been basically the caretaker the last few months in terms of that director role. But no, that's not what I want. I want us to try something different now. I don't want us to try someone who's just been in the club, comfortable and all that. I want someone who's, bring some experience to the team. Maybe that is what is missing. Maybe, you never know. As I said, you have to try everything. You never know. Maybe if a new director comes in and, maybe that, gives us chance to just focus on the coaching. Maybe I don't know how Arteta wants it. I don't know if he just wants to. I don't know if he prefers to control everything in terms of the management and signings of players, or does he actually prefer someone to help him out, someone who understands him better, maybe than they do in terms of signing the players. Maybe if you could get that, maybe but that is the change. But obviously after that, if you get a new director and you get a new strike and things don't work out, then the only thing remaining is probably replacing him. But for now, director and striker. So the director that we're looking at is Andrea Berta. I think it's Berta. He's Italian, but he's been working at Atletico Madrid. Now, as Fabrizio said, he's been able to complete a lot of really good deals recently. Now, if you take a look at a few of them, he signed Rodri for 20 million euros only. I think that is from Villarreal to Atletico Madrid. 20 million for Rodri is crazy. Now he's just won a Ballon d'Or. He signed Thomas Lamar for 72 million. I don't think that was a great signing. He signed Kieran Trippier for 22 million euros. I think that was great from Tottenham. He signed Joao Felix for 127 million. Looking at it now, that's not really a great signing, but he was able to get the deal done. He also signed Luis Suarez for 9 million from Barcelona. He signed Mateus Cunha for 35 million euros. I'm not sure where that is from. I don't remember which team Cunha came from, probably Brazil or Portugal somewhere. He signed Conor Gallagher from Chelsea recently, and he also signed Julian Alvarez from Man City recently. I think there's one that they've left out there, and I think that is Griezmann. So I think he signed Griezmann very cheaply, and then he sold him to Barcelona for a lot of money, and then he bought him back from Barcelona for cheap, and now Griezmann is one of the best attackers alongside Alvarez in the league, in La Liga. And there's a lot of other players that a lot of other deals have been able to do, and it's great to see someone who can get these big deals done. Maybe that is definitely what we need. Declan Rice is a superb signing. It's a big signing. I don't listen to people who say Declan Rice 100 million wasted. He was our best player last season and this season. Half of it, even him having that toe injury, playing with that toe injury, having that red card, and out of all our players, him and Timber look like the ones who are completely tired. Like he's had to play almost every single game. He also signed Carrasco there. Rodri is the big one though. The Griezmann one was trying to get the exact figures for Antoine Griezmann in terms of that signing. Because that was an incredible deal getting. He also signed Oblak. I didn't see him on that list. Oblak for 13 million, only 13 million euros. The Griezmann on his own that has disappeared. Yeah, they signed Griezmann from Sociedad for 24 million pounds. Obviously had a great time there, and then they sold him off. Barcelona triggered his 84 million release clause, and then literally a couple of years later they bought him back for 17 million. So that is great business. It's not all in terms of signing players. You also keep the team afloat. So that's something that we never do, sell players. If you look at I would love to keep Saka forever. I'd love to keep Saliba forever. I'd love to keep Odegaard forever, all of those players. But to keep a team afloat, you have to do something like something like Liverpool did. They sold Coutinho for 100 million plus, and they bought defensive cover to have them win the Premier League and the Champions League. So maybe for us, that could be the next step. Maybe for us, that is the next step, get one or two players that you can sell, that you can get backups for, and then you go and make a big deal in the position that you want. That big position for us right now is the striker or the left wing. So let's get to more news in regards to this. Let's see. Andrea Berta has ended talks of AC Milan sporting director role, telling the Serie A club he has an offer from Arsenal. So this is according to Duncan Castle. Apparently, he's also wanted by AC Milan. AC Milan have had a tough season. They're already out of the Champions League. They're not doing well in the league. I watched their game yesterday as well. They lost to Lazio at home, last-minute penalty. 2-1, they're not doing well. They could miss out on Champions League and maybe even Europa League this season. So they're also in need of a kind of a fresh start. So apparently, he's told them, no, I'm looking at Arsenal. So that is great as well. Someone wants to join. He recently just left Atletico Madrid. He resigned recently. So if he's fresh to get a new job, that would be great. And let's not forget Atletico Madrid have won some big trophies, including 2 La Liga titles, competing against Barcelona and Real Madrid. That is not easy, competing against those two teams. And I think they won it when Ronaldo was still at Real Madrid and Messi was still at Barcelona. I think that was like 2014 or 2015, something like that. The first one that they won. I think maybe 2014. I don't remember the exact year, but those players were there for sure. So that is a big deal. That is a big deal. If you can help out you and the manager in terms of getting big trophies, that is great. Now, again, Fabrizio has just confirmed something in the last few minutes, 16 minutes ago. More on Andrea Berta, National Story reported earlier today. The negotiations are at an advanced stages as Berta is giving priority to Arsenal as next destination. All parties are confident to get the agreement done this month, with details still left to be sorted. So for me, I'm absolutely on board with this one. You know what I think could happen? There's two ways this could go. The first one is he joins the team and it works out with Arteta, and we win big trophies the next couple of years, and we totally forget about what happened in 2024 and things are looking shiny. But the other thing that could also happen, like the way the football world lines up, he just came from Atletico Madrid. He's been working with Diego Simeone. Maybe in the next couple of years, Arteta will be gone and Diego Simeone will be our manager. That could also be the case. That could also happen. So let's see how it goes, though. So Andrea Berta, someone to that is the leading candidate to replace Edu this month. So let's see how that one is. I think they maybe will finalize it during the international break after we play Chelsea. But that is great. We need to get him in early so that between now and June they can start looking at players with Arteta, so that we don't mess around. We definitely do take a lot of time to complete deals. Let's not do that again. Players like Isaac and then Vats and all those players that we've been linked to, those players are not only going to be wanted by Arsenal. So we need to get it done early as possible, as early as possible. Need to know our targets and all that. So by next season, at the end of next season, we don't have any more excuses at all. So that's Andrea Berta. Let's talk about Saliba first. Big talks on Saliba. Obviously, a lot of people are scared that he's going to move on to Madrid. For me, I'm not as worried as people are at the moment. Maybe in the next couple of years, if you still haven't won anything, then players like Saliba can leave. He's still very young. Like, he still has like 14, 15 years to go. If keeps himself fit and, stays on the right path, he still has 15 years to go in terms of being a good defender in top level. Arsenal are raising a contract offer for William Saliba. If accepted, will put him on par with the club's highest earners. They will look to open talks in the coming months with a view to getting a deal over the line before the start of next season. This is according to Graham Bailey. His current contract ends in 2027. They're looking to extend it until 2030. That would be fantastic. Like, we need a player like this to stay at Arsenal. When I was saying you need to sell big players to replace, players like Coutinho to replace a position that you need in the team, not someone like Saliba. Someone like Saliba, you have to keep him in the team. You don't get generational defenders like that. And if we sell him, it needs to be for 160 million plus in the future. Not now. I'm not worried about him leaving now. And this is one player that you definitely need to get signing very, very soon. And does he deserve to have an increase in salary? 100%. Like, since he came in 3 years ago, absolutely fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. This season he hasn't been like a 10 out of 10 like 2 seasons ago, but he's still a very, very good defender. Still a very good defender. Him and Gabriel are players I look at and I'm like, I can never blame them, really. Like, these guys save us so many times, so many times. So let's see how that one goes. He could earn like close to 300,000 a week. So if there's a player who deserves to be one of our highest players, it's players like Saka and Saliba for sure. Thomas Partey. According to Charles Watts, Arsenal yet to initiate any contract talks with Thomas Partey, and there's a growing feeling within the players' camp that the club will not push to keep him beyond this season. So that is interesting. That is an interesting one. Thomas Partey, no contract talks yet, and his contract is about to expire now. The two things I loved about Partey this season, one is being able to stay fit. It's ironic. He's the one who used to get injured, and then this season when everyone else is getting injured, he's the one who's been fit. Fantastic. Actually, 3 things. One, the fact that he stayed fit. That has been a huge bonus. I can only imagine if that time, for example, we didn't have Declan Rice and then Partey is also not there, that would have been a disaster. The fact that he can also help us, not many people don't like him at right back, but he never complains. He goes there and he does a job. And I don't think it's been a disaster whenever he's played at right back. I don't think it's been a disaster. He's not a right back. There's a game like Aston Villa where he needs to be covering Watkins and he lets him go. He's not a right back, but most of the games, like against Liverpool at home, he did an incredible job against Luis Diaz on that right side. So that is fantastic. And number 3, this season, the games that you've been playing poorly, like Bournemouth away and games like that, Inter Milan away, he's the one who's actually played well in those games. Throughout that tough period, he's the one that has played well for us this season. So we have to give him props for that. Now, two things that are not on his side. One is age. Age is not on his side. And the salary that he gets, I think, is a lot for his age. And it's a really tough one. Number three, the one thing I don't like about Partey on the pitch is the transitions. If a quick midfielder gets past him, he's not going to catch them. He does. Rice would probably catch a number 10, who gets past him, but Partey does not have the pace anymore. That's why when he faces players like Rodgers from Aston Villa, he really struggles. So he does really need to keep his position and not let any players past him. And he does well next to Rice and Odegaard. So will he get that 1-year contract? Would I give him that 1-year contract? I would, but I wouldn't depend on him next season. So I think I think he's been overplayed this season, like Declan Rice and the right back, Jurrien Timber. They've been overplayed way too many times as well. But he's done the job. So Zubimendi will probably replace Jorginho. For me, I would be focusing on the forward players and keep Partey, but I don't know if they want another midfielder. I don't think you're in a position to get rid of too many players unless you're going to sign 6 or 7 players this transfer window. For me, I'd give him a 1-year contract because I think most of this season has been great for us. So that's just my opinion. And then lastly is on Trossard and Martinelli. According to John Cross of the Mirror, Arsenal do have scope to do big deals this summer, both in terms of PSI and spending power, but they might have to sell either Leandro Trossard or Martinelli, who have been both been targets for Saudi Pro League clubs to get all their business done. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Sometimes you need to get rid of big players to help finalize, to help basically get the cash for a striker if you want. Sometimes you need to get big players. So could it be Trossard? Could it be Martinelli? Could both of them end up staying? I mean, the truth is the last 2 seasons, Martinelli has not been great. Last season, he was awful, and this season, it's like a 6 out of 10. Trossard this season, he just hasn't stood out. With players like Jesus out, Havertz out, Saka out, Trossard hasn't really stood out. Last couple of performances have been quite poor. Last season, at the end of last season and the first season when he came in at the half season, he was absolutely fantastic. But also age is not on his side. So Trossard should not be starting for us. He should be, coming off the bench, doing the job, sometimes starting. We shouldn't be depending on him starting every single game. You need, explosive wingers, and Trossard is not an explosive winger. So that is one to keep an eye on. Will Trossard be here next season? Will Martinelli be here next season? Who knows? I feel like there's going to be a big deal this transfer window in terms of a player going, maybe 2. So is it going to be Trossard or Martinelli or Partey? I don't think we're going to just have all of them again next season, especially the new director, joining the team. Maybe things could change. So that's the latest in terms of the news. And oh no, I didn't check this one. I've not checked. I think it's Kimmich. Yeah. How can I forget this one? According to Plenty Goal, breaking, Arsenal hold concrete interest in Bayern Munich's Joshua Kimmich and have held talks. The Gunners would like to sign him on a free transfer, but it is still possible that the German signs a new contract at Bayern. So this links to Partey. This one is directly linked to Partey for sure. If Kimmich joins the team, Partey is going to leave. If we get both Kimmich and Zubimendi, Jorginho and Partey are going to leave. So would you guys want Kimmich in the team or Partey in the team or both of them? Have as many midfielders as you want? Let me know. So won't carry this one too much. We'll talk about Kimmich on the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.